Welcome to a brand new episode of the Post Game. I am your host, Davion, and I'm joined by Oronde,
What up?
Lillian,
Yeah.
and Elijah.
Yo,
How we doing today, y'all?
We're having fun.
Pretty
Good.
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 I had a pretty good day. So can't
Good. That's what I like to hear. All good days from everybody. I'm doing pretty good too. We talked about this a little bit pre-show, but how's y'all's fantasy teams looking?
I'm either really good or really bad.
Both of my teams are doing good. So one is 5-1 and the other one's 4-2.
I'm pretty bad, realistically, in all of them, kind of. But hey, who cares? But we're back. Week 5, 6, week 6.
Week 6.
Week 6.
Recap of week 6. We're gonna start off with Thursday Night Football, which is another terrible one. Let's be real. The Washington Commanders versus the Chicago Bears. So the Commanders pulled out this win. The Bears went down and lost it. What do we think? How do we are these two teams ready for the season to be over or what?
I already
Pack it
forgot
up
who
and start
played.
back for the next season. Yeah.
I already forgot who played.
Commanders
the Bears and the Commanders.
Wentz is the toughest Wentz is the toughest player in the league right now.
Well, now he's hurt for the next 4 to 6 weeks. So
Because he
Sam
played,
Howell's out.
he played through a fracture the rest of the game
yeah.
and still out through Mr. Fields. Also, that last no catch was kind of questionable. He should have just caught that.
I mean, he should have. If he caught it the first time, he would have gotten the catch. But Butterfingers.
Also, Fields leading rusher once again. I'm tired of this team.
Is it coaching? Is it a team? What is it?
It's the team as a whole.
Okay.
I think it's just a team as a whole.
I mean, they don't.
Last year,
Fields is not making good reads. He can still throw it. He's still making a good number of passes, but it's just not enough to get the team over the hump. The defense is playing well. The offense is not putting it together. Well,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say playing well, but good enough to keep them in games where they should be blown out.
I mean,
Yeah.
I will say Justin Fields has definitely missed some throws too, though.
He's still not worse than Russell Wilson, but he's missing things.
That is a low bar.
Wow. Well, okay. I'm gonna let y'all shoot at that shot by yourselves. So with Taylor Heineke coming in next week, does this open up that Washington Commanders offense a little bit, or is it still the same?
Heineke will win the first game by 10 points. I don't even know who they're playing. I'm just saying that out loud.
Why do I want to say it's Green Bay?
Yeah, I think they play Green Bay.
Is it Green Bay?
Oh, they could win that game by 10 points.
No, they play. Why did you say the Commanders play the Commanders at home?
Is it not Green Bay?
It is Green Bay. Yes, the
Yeah.
23rd. Yes, they will play Green Bay next weekend. And so yeah, man, I definitely do think these two teams are like just over this season. And they're pretty much ready to wind it up. Honestly, they're both looking for a nice pick in the draft to build. I mean, Chase Young not being for the Commanders still. Definitely a big blow to their defense, but can't be this bad on a Thursday Night Football primetime game. You really 12-7 defense can't be that good.
Commanders hold the 12th overall pick with Chicago holding the 11th overall pick in the 2023 draft so far.
Looking to drop a little bit lower, realistically.
It was bad, but they scored more touchdowns than Russell Wilson has in prime time. So
that's the second shot at Russell Wilson. Y'all gonna be by yourself.
Kirk Cousins play better on Monday night than they do.
A lot of people have been trashing Wilson, so I don't know.
Because he sucks.
Yes, people at my job was even saying that he's terrible. He can't make a pass and stuff like that. So yeah.
I mean, do we think he's bad?
Off the field, whatever, but as a football player, he's just not that good anymore.
The play calling's also questionable too, because
why
is Melvin Gordon only have 3 rushes for 8 yards?
Oh, because Melvin Gordon sucks now.
But 3 rushes?
He got
Cam Akers sucks, and he got more touches.
Well, they don't have Latavius Murray.
I'm tired of this. I'm tired. Can we move on? This team sucks.
We haven't even gotten to the Broncos yet.
So jumping ship off that mess to another mess that I'm excited to see what y'all think about. The Atlanta Falcons beat the San Francisco 49ers 28-14. What happened with the 49ers here?
Hey, you know what? I said it before the season started. This might be the year we get prime Marcus Mariota back. I saw prime Marcus Mariota on Sunday. Was super efficient, got the touchdowns, man. He ran that offense well. It was amazing to watch. And he did it against the 49ers defense.
What I had ranked as one of the top 3 defenses in the league got absolutely
Torch.
run away by the Atlanta offense, who didn't even lead with first downs. They were just simply better. 2 sacks on a day. Didn't even pass more. Didn't even rush more. No, not even outgained the Niners. Just simply played better.
I mean, Marcus Mariota, 13 for 14. That's pretty dang good. 129, 2 tubs, no pick. I mean, that gets the job done. I mean, well, Jimmy G though, 30 for 29 for 41, almost 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. That lost them the game. They just couldn't work as a team, I guess.
Atlanta had 3 rushers over 50 yards too.
Yeah. I think one of the biggest takeaways from this game, though, is that Kyle Pitts scored a touchdown in the United States of America.
Yeah, literally.
Also, AJ Terrell is locked down. AJ Terrell is locked down.
We already knew that, though.
21 yards allowed, though, and a pick.
Doing his job.
I mean, he was also playing against Jimmy G. So.
Listen.
Wow.
We're gonna give more credit to Terrell than break down Jimmy G for this one. That's what I feel. That's how I see it.
Is this your bias because of Jimmy G or no?
No. This is me appreciating a good corner.
Okay, so both of these teams now are sitting at 3-3 in the NFC. Do we think either of those teams, or do we think this is a big blow to the 49ers, or do we think that this is like an eye opening that like we need to really look out for Atlanta?
Well,
Atlanta's finally waking up, but we could shun the Niners for losing this game, even though they look like they should have beat Tampa last week. So
the 49ers are in a fortunate enough position to where the rest of their division is also mid, and so they can get away with losing these games.
I mean, is this like
but the Falcons are also enough to where they are 3-3 and still very much in the running to win the NFC South.
And they're also in a pretty mid division.
Yeah.
So with that being said, is this like for the 49ers, is this like a Kansas City losing to the Colts game?
Yes.
I don't necessarily think it is.
Ooh.
Well, because the Colts are just now waking up as well. So that's kind of how I see it. Because we had the favorite losing to what seemed to be a sleeper team.
Yeah, I think maybe it is the same, but I don't know. I just think the Falcons are definitely better than Colts, and I think the 49ers are also worse than the Chiefs. It's sort of a weird comparison to be like the 49ers are the Chiefs in this situation. I mean, I don't think the 3-2 49ers losing a game to the Falcons really means much.
They're both 3-3, by the way.
Yeah.
So do you think? Wait, so you just say the Falcons are better than the Colts?
Yeah, I think the Falcons are better than the Colts right now.
Oronde?
Yeah, as a complete team, because Colts line are still questionable, even though they just had probably their best game of the season.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, I think this game is a battle of 2 NFC teams that, when it comes to playoff settings, if these 2 teams make it to the playoffs or win their division, it'll be one to really look out for. I think the 49ers, they're probably it's just a couple of things that they're missing at the end of their drives and at the end of their games where it's like, how do we lose this game? You can say the same thing about Tampa Bay last week. With the Falcons, man, I think I think the Falcons are playing so well because they don't have that many like expectations on them this season. They didn't have high expectations because no one thought they were going to be a great team. Hey, but they're getting it done for sure on all accords, and there's nothing to be upset about that, man. Atlanta is now 3-3, moving into week number 7. But moving on, the Cleveland Browns got blown out by the New England Patriots 38-15. I called this win from the Patriots. Oronde, you being our residential Patriots fan, how do you feel?
This is awesome. I even tweeted out on Monday, it's a Pats overreaction Monday. The Pats are all the way back and the Browns stink. But Bailey Zappi with another really clean game. He went 24-34, 309 yards and 2 touchdowns. Was sacked twice, but he did have a nice long pass to Jonnu Smith. The Browns cannot stop play action for their life because they keep biting on the run game because our run game is so strong thanks to Ramondre Stevenson being him. They kept getting beat on a basically a glorified slant or an over route from the tight end position on a play action pass. They got beat with that 3 times because they keep biting on the run game. Though the Browns are still good on outside runs, their internal runs are not as potent as it is to the Patriot defense. The Patriot defense is getting way better at the run stopping, and their secondary is locked down because Brissett threw a pick on an underthrown ball on the second play of scrimmage. Then he also threw another pick on the outside in the second half as well. So Brissett's just out here making too many mistakes. He also lost a fumble late in the game as well. The Browns stink.
So
the Browns stink.
So I agree with that statement. Obviously, the Browns stink, but with the the AFC East being so hard and so competitive this season, I mean, the AFC East right now, Bills are sitting at 5-1, Jets are sitting at 4-2, Dolphins are 3-3, Patriots are 3-3. I mean, do you think there's a way that the Patriots slip up into the playoffs this season?
We're going to sneak into a wild card spot. If the Jets hold on to their trajectory, which I do have belief that they can, Miami will slip because of the Tua injury.
But he's coming back this week.
He will not be at full strength. I do not believe that he'll be back at beginning season caliber until at least another week, if that, because we don't know how he's going to recover. Yeah. But Miami slips. Patriots move into that 3rd spot. Assuming the Jets stay the same, we already know the Bills are Super Bowl favorites. I see the Pats getting a wild card spot.
And what's that? What do you think that record would be?
I'm still sticking with my preseason prediction of 10-7.
I think I got the Jets going 10-7. I just looked at their rest of the games for the season. I think the Jets are going to go 10-7 as well. Because the Jets right now, the Jets are sitting at 4-2. And they have the Broncos, Patriots, Bills, Patriots, Bears, Vikings, Bills, Lions, Jacksonville, Seattle, and then Miami to close out. So I have them splitting with the Patriots. I don't have them winning either games in Buffalo though.
No, I think they lose to Buffalo. I think they have a chance to split with us, but they're not. Their run defense is not good enough. They have a strong line, but our O-line is a lot better than the teams that they have played so far.
For me, I think when it comes to like in division games and like in conference games, like I feel like those games aren't like regular games. Like they are going to be competitive, and they're going to be shock factor games.
We just pooped on the Browns, and they gave up almost 200 yards to the Browns rushing, and almost 150 to Miami. And both of those teams have worse O lines. Our line is much better. We'll get the run, we'll get the play action passing, and I think we'll still sweep the Jets this year.
So speaking of the Browns, they're sitting at 2-4 right now. The AFC North is currently in a place of discomfort and unknown. With the Ravens at 3-3, Bengals at 3-3, Browns and Steelers are both at 2-4. I mean, is the Browns season over with Deshaun coming back here soon? I think we got a week.
if they lose the next two, that's the nail in the coffin.
Okay.
Because I don't know how, but the Steelers are alive again.
I know how.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
But they'll just the Browns are Browns. The Brown will Brown. I don't know what more to say to that.
I mean, so let's do the Browns' next 5 games, or let's say 5 games. Ravens, Bengals, Dolphins, Bills, and Buccaneers.
I mean, that's probably 5 losses.
Yeah. Also, another thing to note, while Zappe is playing like he was back at Western Kentucky, on a overturned touchdown to Hunter Henry in the back of the end zone because he stepped out, but he reestablished, but they still call it illegal touching, which I didn't know the full meaning of that. He had a mean stiff arm to some defensive lineman. I didn't even see who it was, but Zappe threw a stiff arm and then threw the touchdown that got overturned. And I'm just like, this man got that dog in him.
So is Zappe
quarterback? I am curious. This is a question I have for Oronde.
Go ahead.
What are your thoughts on Zappe versus Mac Jones?
Sugar tits.
Yes.
My mom is here, and so is Mia and Joseph on the way.
Okay. I'll be there in a moment. I think they're pretty much identical. Zappe just has a little bit more. Well, yeah, I think they're pretty much identical. Zappe's just making better reads.
Is what's in my face? Is what's his name? Is Mac Jones? Is he back? Is he healthy?
I think he comes back next week if he does.
Okay, and will he get the start?
I'm sure he will get the start, but they play the same. If Mac Jones makes more mistakes, Zappe just goes back in and completes the same passes. He gets set up for easy passes. He just makes the better reads so far. That's what it seems like.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely something like comparing what they looked like in college. Granted, Zappe wasn't playing the same competition, but he also had less of a
62 touchdowns, 5,942 yards, both NCAA records.
Yeah, Zappe always made amazing reads, and his deep ball was always more accurate.
Super accurate.
The difference between them.
I will be right back.
Yeah. So moving on from that game, Lillian, we're gonna jump into talking about the Jets and the Green Bay Packers. Elijah jumped off, but him being our residential Green Bay fan, Green Bay lost 27-10. What happened here this week?
Oh, this was so fun. The Packers aren't that good anymore.
Yeah.
And really what it was the running game for the Jets. Bruce Hall looked amazing. 20 carries, 116 yards, and a touchdown. Michael Carter came in the fourth quarter, got them like a much needed. It was a 25-yard rush or something. Got them a first down, gave them amazing field position to kick a field goal to seal it. And I mean, Zach Wilson was a game manager. The offense didn't do much in the first half, but the second half they had 2 amazing drives, and their defense was really what won them this game. We saw the Packers struggle with the Giants defense last week in London, and the Jets defense did the same thing. They just shut Aaron Rodgers down. I mean, Aaron Rodgers 26 for 41, 246 yards and a touchdown, was sacked 4 times. Near the end of the game, Jordan Love came in just to no reason to play Aaron Rodgers anymore. But overall, yeah, the Jets dominated this game in every facet, and it was a good win.
So 2 questions here. One question: does this make the Packers season is the Packers season over? And the other question is, why are the Jets what made them now start this this winning frenzy?
All right, to answer that first question, I mean, the Packers season is far from over. They're 3-3. You're still in a division where your biggest competition is the Vikings. Granted, I think the Vikings are 5-1 now, but you still have the Lions who are 1-4 and the Bears who are 2-4. So you could very easily get that wild card spot, especially in the NFC. But for the Jets, I mean, I think it's a combination of Zach Wilson worked through those rookie struggles and just I don't know, something clicked in New York where the Jets have figured something out. I think the running game looks a lot stronger. They've got, I mean, if they wanted to use it like that, they could have an amazing 1-2 punch with Breece Hall and Michael Carter. Zach Wilson isn't making the same mistakes. The defenses looked great. Something happened in New York. I think maybe it's just a player culture, something where they have figured something out and it's turned into a winning team.
I mean, maybe I think from my point of view, I think what it was is that the point of now that Joe Flacco's not throwing the ball 60 times a game, and that offense is they have a true leader in Zach Wilson now. I think now they're rallying behind him, and they're showing that they can win games against competitive teams in this football league. And this game right here was a prime example of, they caught the Packers at the right time because the Packers aren't that good. Let's be realistic. But then also like their whole team is playing well. They're from running the ball, from passing the ball. When I mean passing the ball, like keeping the ball out of harm's way. He got that done. And it kept them into the game. Oronde, anything on this Jets Packers game?
Zach Wilson is still fun to watch, and I'm glad he's healthy. Other than that, Rodgers threw the ball 40 times, and that's embarrassing. Also, Jets D line is strong, but they still haven't played real O lines yet.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
They went out in the draft and got some real defensive tackles, and so it worked out, right? It's starting to anyway.
Sauce Gardner,
Dog,
absolute dog. More QB shout outs today. Absolute dog. Textbook defensive play.
So who's better, Sauce Gardner or Trayvon Diggs?
Sauce Gardner. Now Diggs, he is just like Justin Jefferson said, he is good, but he's not technically sound.
Yeah.
Gardner is good and technically sound.
Yeah.
So he gets the edge. But Diggs is more of a big play goer.
Yeah. And I will give credit to Diggs. He's looked a lot better this year.
I agree.
He hasn't made as many mistakes, but there are still mistakes he's making that we haven't seen Sauce make.
Also, Quinnen Williams had 2 tackles for loss, 3 QB hits, a couple more tackles and a forced fumble, and it's good to see him healthy and playing.
Yeah, he looks great, but man, that Packers offense.
They may be division rivals, but I do enjoy watching the Jets play football right now.
Oh yeah, for sure. So moving on, the Indianapolis Colts played the Jacksonville Jaguars. Colts came back and won it 34-27. Matt Ryan throwing the ball 60 times this game. 42 for 58, 389, 3 tubs. Come from behind to win. What's this say about this team? This Colts team?
Their O-line played competently for the first time this season, but they also kept the game I don't say kept the game in front of them, but they kept it close. To defense is playing as an actual unit for once, but that still doesn't change the fact that Trevor Lawrence only missed 2 balls this game.
Yeah.
No touchdown, or no, 1 touchdown, but he got sacked 4 times. That was the problem. Their O-line let him down a little bit, but he played well. So I have nothing but props for Trevor.
Yeah, I mean,
Colts just close it out.
Offensively, the Jaguars played really technically sound, but the defense is really what lost them this game.
I mean, they were up a little bit. I remember seeing, because I thought this game was over, and when the last time I checked, I mean, Jacksonville was up 27 or whatever the case may be. And then I guess they let the Colts come back, and I guess they let Matt Ryan throw them back into the game, and he finished with 3 touchdowns, man.
Outside of the fumble, just like Atlanta, Jags have 3 rushers over 50 yards. And I'm also happy to see Travis and Etienne doing well. So
I mean,
did have a fumble though.
Do you think any of these 2 teams, which team do you think is actually better? But throw away this win, who's better?
I still would take the Jags on a good day.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the Jaguars are a better team, but I don't know, man. Something about the Colts. They struggled to begin the season. We saw them
if
the Texans.
If they can play the O-line consistently, they're the better team.
Yeah.
Because their defense is a little bit better than the Jags are.
Maybe we should have seen something though, because they were down 20-0 against the Texans in the 3rd quarter and managed to get it to overtime. So I mean,
I
maybe
mean, could it be a case of teams are allowing them to like put them? I mean, teams are going up big and then taking their foot off the gas, and then the Colts are being good and allowing and not giving up and winning games. Excuse me, after being late. Could it be that?
I mean, I think that's something we do see a lot in the NFL, and teams will go up big and think, okay, it's safe now.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I think there's a lot of fight in this Colts team, and they're getting Jonathan Taylor back next week.
Yeah.
I mean, and hey, credit to, I think he might be a rookie, Deion Jackson.
Deion Jackson did well.
29 receiving yards, 42 rushing, played an amazing game. So, no, he's a second-year player out of Duke. That's right. Really good running back.
Yeah. So, I this is another week where I can't really say anything bad about Trevor Lawrence. It's a completely different season from last season. And I'm not mad about it. I mean, kudos to the kid.
Yeah.
All right. Relax. But yeah, moving on. The Minnesota Vikings played and beat the Miami Dolphins 24-16.
Snooze fest.
Is the Vikings just a good team, or is the Dolphins
Vikings are a
just
good team still?
They are or aren't?
Are.
Okay.
But this was just a shoe-in because no Tua. So
Yeah.
I got no notes for this.
I mean, something that does worry me about the Vikings just for their season is Dalvin Cook. I think he got hurt at some point in the game, and he's been hurt already this season with a shoulder injury. Had 13 for 77, but 53 of those came on one carry. So he had 1 for 53 plus 12 for 24. So you take away that one big rush, he's averaging 2 a carry. So offensive line play there worries me. Kirk Cousins played a pretty solid game.
He's been playing really good.
And Tyreek Hill had 177 receiving yards, and Waddle slid 129.
Jeez, I didn't. Oh my goodness!
You're joking, right?
No,
bro. What the? Oh, Gesicki had the funny number.
Yeah, he did.
With 2 tubs too.
Gesicki out here playing like like Travis Kelce.
Oh my goodness.
So did you all see his gritty?
So the one
he said he was done. He said he was done.
But the one looked better. It looked a lot better this week. I'm not gonna lie.
It went from a 0 out of 10 to a 2 out of 10.
Literally.
RG3 bullied him.
Good. RG3 bullies people. I like that about him.
He's definitely out here in these streets. I mean, Teddy Bridgewater, 23 for 43. 23 for 34, 329, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. He's definitely not the guy that they're looking for right now. But Tyreek Hill and Waddle, man, that's nuts. And they still lost a game.
Tyreek did say, he pointed to our reporter, said, I'd put up numbers with you, and that's what he did.
Jeez.
Teddy Bridgewater threw for 330.
Yeah.
Which is still commendable.
This is a team, they don't have their starting quarterback, and they throw the ball 45 times and run at 14.
I mean, Raheem Mostert hasn't really done much, to be fair.
Better than 2 picks.
They ain't got the line, though. They ain't got a line.
Jalen Waddle did have a fumble with those 129 yards. So 3 turnovers.
They don't have a line, though. Like I said, that's why I regretted picking him up, because I thought his line would be better, and they didn't do nothing but poop.
That's why Teddy Bridgewater got sacked 5 times.
And Skylar Thompson once, which led him to leaving the game.
Yep.
Well, so is Miami, is it over for them this season?
They have, since they have had a decent record before the injury, I'd say they have at least another game or two before we can call whether their season's over.
Okay. I mean, it's rounding that time of the season where, I would say around from week 6 to like
their bye week
to week 10, there's a little bit of you can start seeing the teams who are just looking for that draft pick, and we're close to that point. We are really close to that point.
I would say this: I don't think, especially this year, we can really write. There's a couple teams you can write off, but for the most part, every team is still in the running because so many teams are like 500.
I forgot they were still without Teron Armstead. That's probably why they can't protect anything. He is the anchor.
Yeah, the only teams though I'd write off right now are the Texans and the Panthers.
Also, Raheem Mostert was limited after this game too, so that's gonna help definitely.
Dolphins got the
Damn. They have 4 more weeks to their bye week.
That's brutal.
That's rough. They got the Lions in 2 weeks. I got them dropping 40 on them.
The Dolphins?
Yeah.
Fuck.
I mean, here's the thing we haven't really mentioned over the past couple weeks, which is probably that's completely on our fault. But the deadline is coming up in about 2 weeks.
I
And
haven't
so-
even heard any trade rumors this year.
I only hear of the random ones involving superstars and the fact that there are like 5 people in the trade block for Panthers and they want 2 first rounds for Christian.
Oh,
The only
really?
thing I hear
Yeah,
are,
they want
like,
2 firsts for Christian.
Will you give 2 first for Christian?
And 1 for DJ, I think.
That's a stretch. I think that's a stretch.
I'd give 2 for Christian.
What about 1 for DJ?
I'd give a 2nd round pick for DJ.
That's more like it.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, I've seen like those rumors though, where it's like maybe the Giants should trade Saquon for this. And
That's
it's like,
stupid.
why would they trade Saquon?
don't be that dumb.
But yeah, other
what
than
if-
McCaffrey, I don't think there have really been rumors because every team is still in contention for the playoffs.
What if the Pats got McCaffrey? We'd have another James White kind of character.
If the Pats got McCaffrey, they wouldn't have Ramondre Stevenson anymore.
No, we'd have to keep Ramondre. What do you mean?
You don't have both Oronde.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We are running back by committee. We just don't like to pay people. That's why we don't go for anybody.
Once you get them.
Yeah, we'll keep him for a year or 2, let him get hurt, and then ship him off.
The disrespect. Anyway, moving on. The New Orleans Saints played the Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals came back and won 30-26. The Saints
thought the
were
Bengals lost this game. The last time I had checked, it was like in the 3rd or 2nd quarter.
Saints were up, man. Saints
I
were
got
up
no
pretty
notes
a
for this.
majority of this game. And then I guess they did the thing that everybody else is deciding to do this season and take their foot off the gas, and we just couldn't put them away, I guess. Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow, they were welcome back home with a win. I mean, Jamar started playing really well, 7 for 132, 2 touchdowns. I mean, he won them the game pretty much. But the Saints were up. They had this game in the bag, and then they choked, man. They allowed them to come back and we lost this game. So that sucks. But I think the Saints season's over, man. To me personally, I think we're still gonna go 8-9 or 7-10. And it's just what I called at the beginning of the season. And
I think their season's over already. You're mailing it in.
I mean,
I'm hoping so.
he just wants CJ Stroud or some shit.
We don't even have a first round pick.
Hey,
Oh,
hey,
yeah,
all
yeah.
I know is that Olave needs like 2 touches next week.
Well, he's
He's coming
said-
back. He's playing.
He said he will be playing this week. So if he's back,
I need 2 tuds.
we shall see.
I have no other wide receivers. He is my last hope.
I
Everyone
don't think
else
that's
is
a-
on bye week. Everyone else is on bye week.
I don't know if that's a good thing then. 'Cause I don't think he'll get 2 tabs, realistically.
I need it.
So the Bengals beating the Saints. Are the Bengals back into their winning ways?
They're waking up
I mean,
just like Atlanta and Indianapolis.
Yeah.
no offense, Davion, but any win against the Saints, that's like if I saw the Panthers beat the Saints and be like, oh, maybe they're waking up. No, they're not.
No. Saints
I mean,
suck.
the Bengals played a good quarter of football.
I'd say they
well-
played a good second half.
Their second half was really good. Their first half wasn't really. Which is what we see with the Bengals, and that will be why they don't get to the Super Bowl again, and why I don't think they will even get close. They'll probably get a wild card berth, but I don't think they win the division. Don't think they win a playoff game. I mean, you struggle to beat the Andy Dalton-led Saints, and that's difficult to say that they actually did something.
No, we definitely we suck. For real, we definitely do suck. But moving on, the New York Giants played the Baltimore Ravens.
I called this one.
New
by the
York,
way.
I did
Another one
too.
I called.
I did as
So
well.
that,
New York Giants beating the Baltimore Ravens. How did this happen?
the Giants are
coaching.
actually good.
Better coaching, and the Ravens keep giving up 20-point games. It's like the fourth one this season.
Something I do think is interesting is when we saw Lamar win his Heisman all those years ago at Louisville, they ran a pro style offense. It was really effective. Lamar was able to get out of the pocket, pass the ball. He was able to run the ball when he wanted. But now we see the Ravens run is throw the ball to the tight end, run these heavy sets, run the ball. And so it is really interesting. Why is Harbaugh using Lamar as a read option quarterback first instead of a passing quarterback first that will run the ball when he wants to? Because that's what made Lamar so effective.
Kenyon Drake had over 100 yards. Who would have thought?
I mean, I was surprised. I didn't even remember he was on that team.
Me
And I
neither.
saw he had over 100 yards.
I just found out. I just
I
found
was
out
like,
about
what is
this
this
box
man
score.
doing? Honestly, I hadn't heard his name in so long. I thought he had retired.
I thought he was still with the Cardinals, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
I mean,
I did too. But so Lamar, is he still on track for that MVP?
No, not anymore.
Okay.
But we did have. So speaking of MVPs, Brian Daboll might win Coach of the Year, and
that is
also
very realistic.
and also Daniel Jones had another patented fumble. We can't go a game without him having a fumble.
But he listen to these numbers: 19 for 27, 130, 173, 2 tubs, and 1 fumble.
112 passer rating.
Hey, I'll take it.
Better than the 71 Lamar had.
That's with Wan'Dale Robinson and Daniel Bellinger. So
Practice squad fellas.
I mean,
Slayton had a catch, so I'm glad he's at least getting back into it.
could you imagine if Daniel Jones had a Kenny Galladay that actually wanted to play football?
What was the one? Was it Galladay that retired? Who retired or left the team before Daboll got there?
Golden Tate?
I think it was Golden Tate who tweeted, if Daboll was there, I would have kept playing.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
He hated Joe Judge. Tate did.
I wonder why.
There was so much.
I think
beef.
everybody there hated Joe Judge.
Terrible.
Shout out. Well, I don't know if shout out Secret Base because they do beefs and stuff. If they do a Daboll, not Daboll, Judge versus Golden Tate video, that'd be chef's kiss because that was, man, Joe Judge, coordinator but bad head coach.
I agree. So, I mean, with the Giants moving to 5-1, are they a team to be looked at in the NFC?
Yes.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Like actually feared.
I mean, there's
not feared, but you have to game plan for him because you either have Daniel Jones playing like a competent man, and then you have Mr. God himself, Saquon Barkley.
Yeah. And also the thing about they have a good defense, the Giants.
Their defense is playing well. Patrick Queen had a forced fumble on 7 tackles.
It was one of their safeties. Love, I think, Julian Love made an amazing play. Lamar Jackson heaved one to the end zone. Julian Love comes from the middle of the field and bats it down. It was an amazing play. Athletic. He looked great. And I think the front line on this defense is something to consider. Because Dexter Lawrence has played amazing football this year. And Kayvon Thibodeau, I think, had a sack as well.
He did.
Yeah.
I believe.
I mean, this is just a really good Giants team, which is a weird thing to say because we haven't seen it in years. But
these New York teams, man, they're coming back.
You mean Jersey teams?
The Giants are closer to coming back than the Jets are.
Which is a very accurate statement.
Yeah, I'd say they're both on the same breath though. But yeah, moving on. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers 20-18. I call this game as well.
I thought the Steelers were dead, but it turns out the Pats O-line is dead.
Yeah,
not Pats, Bucks. Sorry,
hilarious. Tom Brady, huh?
Yeah.
I mean,
So I know Kenny Pickett went out concussion, I think it was. But Trubisky came in and did his job. 9 for 12, 144, one tub. I mean, is this team found their second win, or I'm about to say the Patriots? Well,
Trubisky just played like a real QB because he has
Yeah.
nothing to lose.
are we
Yeah,
seeing?
And also Chase Claypool was a real wide receiver for once.
Chase
Yeah,
Claypool actually played football.
Imagine that.
I will say, I think there's a video of the Steelers like heading back to the locker room after the game.
Oh yes, I
And
saw
Chris
this.
Boswell said, seemingly to Matt Canada, it wasn't because of you.
So Canada was like, big win, or it's like just praising the team, like go win, and he goes, well, it wasn't because of you.
Mm-hmm.
I was
Also,
like,
Gunnar Oshewski, my favorite Texas white man in the NFL, gave dip to Chase Claypool after the win, and I think that's hilarious.
I saw that
First
too.
time ever trying it, and happens to do an interview, and that is probably the best thing to come out of this weekend.
Jeez. So with this being 3-3 for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, does this put a question mark on Tom Brady and that team, or are they okay?
They need to get their line figured. They're having the same problem that the Colts were. Their line assignments aren't working. They need to reorganize, reshuffle it, or just get them to simply play better. Now, I'm not going to take the blame away from Brady because their red zone offense has been atrocious, but he's still not getting the protection that he needs from this Tampa Bay offense.
Yeah, I do think that this is a little bit of a worry for the Buccaneers. I mean, I don't think this was as much of a fluke as it may seem because Mr. Trubisky actually played well.
Yeah.
I think that it's possible that the offense clicked without Matt Canada. I think a huge part of it was Claypool actually played physical for once. But yeah, this offensive line in Tampa Bay is not working. And like Oronde said, if they need to shuffle some pieces around, figure out what works, because Tom Brady is old as all hell. Like that's a fact of life now. He looks human. He needs protection. And without protection, Tom Brady is not Tom Brady.
I agree. So, but moving on, the Carolina Panthers played the Los Angeles Rams. Rams are hopefully starting to wake up. Rams won 24-10. Carolina Panthers had to. Well, they played their third string running over a quarterback. Then he went down, and then they played their fourth string Jacob Eason. And he came in 3 for 5, 59 yards, one pick. I mean, nothing to go hump and ha about. But Chris McCaffrey, he was leading in receptions and running. He ran around his favorite numbers, amount of yards, and had 7 receptions, 89 yards. The Panthers season over? Would you say that one's over too?
Yeah, Panthers season is over. I think something that's really funny to look at this though is the Panthers held the lead twice in this game, both in the first half.
Yeah.
3-0 then 10-7.
I do have to say we got I forgot her name, but she's a beat reporter for the Panthers, and her opinion on the offense is that can't even blame Baker because he's not even playing. This is simply Ben McAdoo. Get him out of here.
I mean, if you look at it, firstly, I don't hate what they tried to do because you have PJ Walker and he's your third string quarterback. So a lot of the passes were screen passes to McCaffrey. That's why we saw him as the receiving leader. And actually, when Jacob Eason came in, until that interception on his last throw, he actually was looking like he could throw the ball. Made a bad decision, and that was his issue. But he's a pretty accurate passer. But yeah, like you said, you can't blame it on Baker because even without Baker, this team sucks. I mean, the defense made a good play near the end of the half with the pick six. Granted, Stafford forced the ball again because Stafford has always forced the ball, and it looks way worse this year.
I forgot who the player was, but he was mocking Allen Robinson, and that was funny.
Yeah, that's also something to talk about. Allen Robinson, 5 for 63 and a touchdown.
Yeah.
Finally getting
bring that up.
separation
He finally got a
against one of the
touchdown.
better
Exactly.
defenses.
He got separation against a pretty good secondary when you really look at it, and was given chances, and he actually caught the ball.
Also, the beat writer also said, like, this team on paper should win games, but the coaching is holding them back.
Yeah.
I mean, on paper, you have Christian McCaffrey, DJ Moore, J.C. Horn, Jeremy Chin, Derek Brown, Brian Burns. I mean, you have so many pieces on this defense. You got Shaq Thompson, like so many pieces, and none of it works.
None of it. Nothing
And
to
I
show
mean,
for it.
Baker could be decent if you gave him a playbook that wasn't terrible.
Stop this. Just stop the notion. Baker's
Don't stop the
trash.
notion. He's not
The
Davion.
one year
He's
he
We're not
had-
trash.
starting. We're not
He's not
starting
good.
this again.
Baker's
We're not
not good.
starting
Oh,
this
yeah.
BS
Sick of it.
again.
Either way, yeah, the issue is coaching.
All right, we'll
I-
see.
The issue is coaching.
shall see.
Give Baker a real OC again. Like I could even see him thriving with Kyle Shanahan.
I mean, what baffled me was they fired Matt Rule and they fired the DC,
Because he's connected to Matt Rule.
but the OC was the problem.
McAdoo should be gone too, but can only do so much about that
I mean,
until they get rid of him.
Steve Wilkes looked like he was doing pretty well though.
Steve Wilkes was doing fine. Robbie Anderson's a little B word.
I
Well,
don't
he's
even
gone
like
now.
him like that. I mean, Robbie Anderson gets in the face of his receivers coach, then big argument, comes out of the half on the bike, and then Steve Wilkes just sends him off and they trade him. I mean, Robbie Anderson I don't think ever wanted to be there.
But isn't there I think I saw there's a fat cap space hit they're gonna take 23 mil next season.
12.
I think it was 23.
There's no way he was making that much.
Hold on. Let me
They
pull
just
it
signed him
up.
to a deal.
Hold on. I have my contract website bookmarked.
Oh my God. 2 years, 29.5 million extension.
29 and a half.
Would you look at that?
Because they restructured, if I'm not mistaken.
Why would you? He was complaining on fucking Instagram because he didn't want Baker to begin with.
Well,
And
Baker's
then
trash.
he's been a little bitch all year. I mean, I don't blame him for no matter what your cap hit is. I don't blame you for getting rid of somebody like that's a cancer in the locker room.
Oh, he definitely was. I'm not saying what he did was justifiable.
No,
By the
honestly
way,
not. I know you're not.
he's terrible. He's terrible. He hasn't done enough to warrant acting like a child. So get him gone. I'm okay with that.
He's done
So-
almost nothing his entire career.
So with Robbie gone, would y'all like to know the Panthers dead cap right now and
Sure.
injured reserve cap?
Yeah, sure.
So the injured reserve cap taken up right now is $26.2 million. And the dead cap is 37.7.
Okay.
They have 10 million cap space right now by
mean-
the graceness of them saving money on the offseason. But
I mean, Robbie Anderson just went from the number 2 option on the Panthers to the number 2 option on the Cardinals.
at least Hollywood Brown's only out for 4 to 6 weeks, 6 to 8.
Yeah,
Something like that, which
Hopkins-
is great news. It's great news that he's not hurt for long term.
Yeah, I'm so happy that he's not out for the rest of the season. But Hopkins is back now. So Robbie Anderson's just gonna be pissy because Kyler's gonna be busy playing the new COD, and DeAndre Hopkins is gonna get all the targets, and Robbie will start a fight there, and then nobody will touch him.
But hey, I drafted DeAndre Hopkins. He just came off my injury reserve on 2 teams, so
Yeah.
I'm waiting for Jameson Williams to come off of injured reserve.
that's fair. That's fair.
Well, moving on. Seattle Seahawks played the Arizona Cardinals. Seattle won 19-9. Are the Cardinals done?
Cardinals are not dead yet.
What's their problem?
Unfortunately,
They are
they're
bleeding. out.
they're bleeding. Yeah, they are bleeding, but they get the number 1 right receiver back, who was the glue of the team last season, just
Yeah.
like he is this season. So I think they'll be back on the right track of getting better.
Playing
Even
New
though
Orleans
they're
Saints
being
this
they're
week on
being
Thursday.
held back by coaching as
Yeah.
well.
I mean, but like Kyler ran the ball well, 10 for 100.
And a
But passing
fumble.
ball
He
didn't
did
look good.
he did hold it like he was LaShawn McCoy.
I mean, Kyler threw a pick, had 2 fumbles, lost one of them. Wasn't super efficient passing wise. Kyler's one of those quarterbacks where there's only so much you can blame on coaching. I mean, we sort of know that around this time of year, Kyler's performance starts to falter.
Still one of the best running things we got.
He had 10 carries, 100 yards this past week too.
He played like Lamar should be playing.
with the loss.
Yeah, still with the loss.
It's
Yeah,
crazy because
exactly.
I think if you put Lamar in the Cardinals system, he'd actually play better. I think it's a system that fits his play style more.
Would you not say
He
they're pretty
is. He
similar?
is. Lamar is a more capable passer at the end of the day. He's also taller, so he can actually see people.
Yeah.
We have two running jokes with Kyler now.
You can't see a single thing. He's terrible. He's not terrible. I'm not
If
gonna say
Tua
Kyler Murray's terrible.
complains, Kyler's allowed to complain.
Yeah. So I mean, Seattle being 3-3,
Which did not have that
I had
in my
them.
early
I
season
think
prediction.
I had them as the worst team in the league. Well, I know I
I
had them
had
in the
Falcons
worst.
at the worst team in the league with the Houston Texans,
The Falcons and the Seahawks are both 3-3. That's crazy.
and the
They
Texans are
both
still
lose their
booty cheeks.
longtime veteran quarterbacks and get better. That's
So-
I mean, Geno Smith has been playing really well.
Geno
here's
has
what's
been kind of
funny.
underrated, but people are mad at him for not playing as well in New Jersey.
But here's what's funny about this is that like right now Seattle is tied with the Rams and 49ers in that division.
That division is the battle of mid.
Which they went from all of them being playoff contenders to them literally being bottom barrel teams.
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally.
I mean, who knows? Maybe the Rams will finally wake up a little bit, but
Eh,
Nah,
maybe the
I wouldn't
winning
hold my breath.
was the spark they needed.
me neither.
I mean, isn't it crazy though for the NFC East? You have the Eagles, Giants, and Cowboys all sitting well over 500. Kind of makes
Yeah.
me sick.
And the Eagles are the number 2 team in the league.
And Washington is still good old Washington.
Sheesh.
Death, taxes, and Washington being Washington. Death, Texans, and Browns being Browns. Death, taxes, and Panthers being disappointing.
Moving on to arguably one of these two teams that produced some really good football over the past couple of seasons, especially when they play each other. The Kansas City Chiefs played the Buffalo Bills this past week in Kansas City. The Bills won it out 24-20.
I didn't watch this game, so I got nothing to say.
So I mean, these two teams have showed us like what great football looks like over the past 3 seasons. The Bills pulled this one off. But this could have easily went to Kansas City as well. I mean, like just Josh Allen. Remember the name?
Insane.
Remember, like
he's still jumping over people.
Yeah. I mean, Josh Allen, 27 for 40, 329, 3 touchdowns. Singletary with 85 yards. You don't want anything other than that. Like that works for this team. Especially not having a great run game that works. Stephon Diggs, 10 receptions, 148 yards, 1 tub. I mean, these guys are getting it done. But on the other side, I mean, Patrick Mahomes needs to clean up the ball play. But Mahomes, 25 for 40, 338, 2 tubs, 2 picks. Not a really good running game from Kansas City. Juju, 5 receptions, 113 yards. Kelsey, 8 receptions, 108. Like,
the thing I do have to note from this game, which is the only thing, was Poyer being one of the toughest players in the league right now, not getting cleared to fly, but driving all the way to the game and all the way back today as it is.
Yeah. So
with a rib injury.
Looking at these teams, I would say offensively, I put them on par with each other. They both are very strong offensive teams.
I agree
with that.
The difference in what sets the Bills ahead of the Chiefs right now is the fact that the Bills have a defense.
They have a defense and more depth. I don't know how to pronounce that.
Don't look at me. I don't either. But to that point, I mean, Kansas City still played great football.
Yeah. And I mean, I looked at that last interception that sealed the game for the Bills on Mahomes. It was a defensive play. Mm-hmm. It was less of Mahomes messed up and more of the Bills played amazing defense. They were in a mix of they were in a cover 2, I believe, and Tremaine Edmonds was sitting in a hook curl, and they had a QB spy. I think it was Matt Milano, and right tackle for the Chiefs sets up outside because he's expecting help from right guard Trey Smith. Trey Smith doesn't help, and so Mahomes faces immediate pressure and has to bolt out. And then He has a QB spy following him. He's got a guy coming from behind him. And then Tremaine Edmonds steps up as he makes the throw and picks the ball off. So it was really amazing defense from the Bills. And that's what sets the team apart is the defense that the Bills have.
I mean, I completely agree with that statement. And like with these two teams is that they will meet again. They will 100% meet again. Because these are two of the best teams arguably in the NFL. Hands down. I mean, we're gonna talk about the Eagles here in about 30 seconds, but these are two of the best teams in the league, and they put on great showings every single time. And it's nothing that if you want to watch good football, this is what you put on in this game. But yeah, moving on to something a little bit more appealing for me anyway. The Philadelphia Eagles beat the Dallas Cowboys this past week, 26-17. Cooper Rush with 3 interceptions. Is it time to go back home to the bench?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, did any of us actually expect them to like take the starting job over Dak?
No.
Yeah, no, me either. I think we're pretty sound on that. 3 interceptions, and he just wasn't. He didn't. He obviously Cooper Rush just doesn't have that thing that starting quarterbacks have in order to like win big games, which is like being able to control, and put points up on the board. Because he obviously when they went behind, he had to throw 3 picks. He threw 3 picks. So, but the Eagles, man, go ahead, Lillian.
This thing is Cooper Rush finally had to actually throw the ball.
Yeah.
They didn't go for 100 yards last week. Actually had to throw the ball this week. And he had to do it against one of the best secondaries in the league. You've got 2 of the best corners in Darius Slay and James Bradbury. You've got one of the better safeties in CJ Gardner-Johnson. This is a secondary that you don't want to have to throw against, and they had to throw against it with a backup quarterback. And it showed what Cooper Rush actually is, and that's a backup quarterback.
I agree. So I mean, when you look on the other side of the field, Jalen Hurts. I mean, he threw the ball. He didn't throw a pick. 15 for 25, 155, 2 tubs. Is this team a Super Bowl team right now?
I mean, as of right now, they're my favorite to come out of the NFC.
Eagles are still a Super Bowl team, in my opinion. Strong offense, strong defense.
I've got an Eagles Bills Super Bowl right now.
I can match that. I'm not angry at that. And then who do you have winning that game?
Oh, I'm not picking a team on that right now.
Oh, I will. Give me the Bills. But listen, I definitely think. So I mean, does this hurt Dallas at all? I think it humbles them.
Hurts Dallas.
I think it humbles them.
It needs to.
Because they were on a very high and mighty train of where just because our defense is top in the league, you know, our offense is just getting by. But do we think Dak can come back? Dak can come back and perform to the best of these abilities?
Yeah. I think it'll take him a game or 2, but I think he comes back.
I hope it takes him a game or 2, dude. He's coming back against the Lions. I do think that Dak looked bad week 1. I mean,
Yeah, he did.
Dak played bad football week 1. And it's not like he was playing the most stellar defense ever. Tampa Bay's defense has been but then he gets hurt on his throwing hand. And if you're already not throwing the ball well, then your throwing hand gets hurt. You haven't played in 5 weeks, 6 weeks. Now you come back. Who knows what you look like? And it's probably not great. So, I mean, I think having Dak back, it depends on do they actually continue to run the ball or are they going to try the full pass attack again? Because if they try the pass attack again, it won't work and the Cowboys will finish like 10-7.
What is the expectation for Dak coming back though?
Don't turn the ball over.
Yeah, play like a starting QB or at least game manage until you're back to full strength and full health.
Do what Cooper Rush was doing where he would just keep it going.
Yeah.
And they probably play into the play action more when he's back too, if they have the same running attack.
They definitely. I mean, I completely agree. I don't know. This Dallas defense, I obviously I'm a little biased. I hate Dallas with a passion. But their defense really has showed up, but they didn't show up this game. And Philly put 20 on them in the second quarter. So maybe you'll have to just wait and see how Dak looks. But I don't know.
I mean,
I
Miles
like
Sanders
Philly.
did well too. 18 for 71 and a touchdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but moving on. The Chargers played the Broncos on primetime TV. Broncos with another primetime game that went to overtime. Chargers did win 19-16 though. What does it say about the Chargers? Do they need another season, or is that 4-2? Like, are they good?
4-2 this year, I think, is probably considered good.
Yeah,
It is considered good despite the lack of good football being played.
I mean, if we're going to call the Jets good, we're going to call the Chargers good.
I think they're
Yeah,
just
we
not
kinda have
consistent in
to.
that 4-2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think a lot of the Broncos aren't good.
No.
Their offense isn't good.
Their
The
defense is
defense-
amazing.
Their defense is a lot better.
Because the defense is great. The offense is.
Patrick Surtain is.
I mean, you have your best running back out for the season, which does suck. Javonte Williams was a really good player, led the league in broken tackles last year. Your backup is Melvin Gordon, who you benched because he fumbles the ball more than he scores. And then in comes Latavius Murray. There's no running game, and it's not like Russ is playing well.
Like, why is he throwing the ball at all? Turn
Because
into
they can run the
a dual
ball.
threat. Turn into a dual threat at this point. Not giving any contributions with your arm.
Russ was
Aside from
always a good mobile passer, but as he's gotten older, he's gotten slower, and he's not as much of a run threat anymore. So if he's not going to throw the ball well, and he's not going to run the ball well, he's not going to quarterback well.
I completely agree with that statement. Are Chargers like anywhere on y'all's deep playoff run boards?
they have a shot, but I don't have any confidence in them per se.
Yeah,
Probably not. I mean, their defense has been busted up this year. JC Jackson tricked everybody. He's not as good as he was.
System cornerback. He's a system cornerback.
I mean, the only corner I can think of that has been good since leaving New England is Stephon Gilmore, but he was good before he got there too.
That's very
was.
true.
So
Gilmore's
every
a real-
quarterback that makes a name for themselves in New England and then goes
Darrell Revis.
some lucrative deal.
where's Stephon?
Indy playing well.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. Well, that's the end of our reactions to week 6. Let's go ahead and jump into predictions of week 7 real quick.
I got y'all's early week odds already up.
Oh geez,
Yeah,
starting
so
off with the Saints and the Cardinals, both sitting at 2 and 4.
It's in Arizona.
D-Hop coming back.
After 6 games off.
Saints
Hasn't
Cardinals.
played in like 9 months.
Let me make my predictions list.
I think I'm gonna keep it up. I'm gonna keep it going. I've been saying my Saints all season. Let's go for New Orleans. Who cares?
I'll go Saints.
Yeah,
Cardinals
give me
haven't
Saints.
proved to me anybody.
Who
Proved
cares?
to me to
Saints.
bet to keep picking them.
Browns versus the Ravens.
Give me the Ravens.
Yeah.
Ravens as well. Buccaneers versus the Panthers
Bucks Panthers. That's plus 9.5.
at Carolina.
Watch some crazy shit happen. The Panthers are gonna win.
Panthers defense, man. Hey, a good Panthers defense.
Brian Burns and Derek Brown are gonna tear up
Panthers-
the offensive line.
Panthers are my wild card pick for this week.
I'll
Give
match
me the
that.
Panthers, even though they're 9.5 point dogs in the early spread.
I'll match it. Why not? Give me the Carolina Panthers this week as well. Falcons versus the Bengals.
Give me the Falcons.
Ooh.
Yeah, give me Falcons.
Ooh. Give me the Bengals.
I like Marcus Mariota.
I'll go back home. Dallas versus the Lions.
Self touchdown, man. That was
Give
beautiful.
me the Lions.
I don't think I'm legally allowed to go against the Lions.
Aaron St. Brown is healthy.
Yeah, we've got ourselves a healthy team coming off the bye week. Give me the Lions.
Give me the Cowboys. I told you I'm done saying the Lions, man. For real, them bums. They're
Oronde, wouldn't
ruining
it be
me.
funny if the Lions win and then he just hops right back on the
I'm be real
bandwagon?
with y'all. Hey,
Yes.
listen, if the Lions win, I will not be angry. I hate the Cowboys.
So
Let
it's
the
just a win-win for you.
Literally,
if anything.
if the Cowboys win, my prediction's right. If the Cowboys lose, who cares? Giants versus the Jaguars.
Giants, Jags.
I'm feeling Jacksonville.
I remember beginning of the year, we were like, maybe Jacksonville will be okay.
By the
I'm
way,
feeling
Falcons
Jacksonville.
are 7-point dogs to the Bengals.
Why am I
Just
feeling
so you know
Jacksonville
that.
right now?
Give me New York Football Giants.
I want to root for Trevor Lawrence, but quad god. Give me the Giants.
Give me the Giants as well. Colts versus the Titans.
Give me the Titans. Colts still can't stop the run.
Titans coming off the bye week. Yeah, give me the Titans.
I agree. Titans. Commanders versus the Packers. Packers offense doesn't seem like they can get the job
Packers
done.
only 5-point favorites.
Why
Yeah,
the
they're-
hell not? Give me the Commanders.
Give me the Packers only because Wentz is not playing.
No, it's Sam Howell's season.
No, it's not.
It's Taylor Heineke
Watch
starting,
Taylor Heineke get hurt though. Watch it happen. I
I'm
don't
feeling
know
it too, though. Give me the Packers though.
and it's
Jets,
in Washington, so it's possible.
Yeah, Jets, Broncos,
Give me the Jets.
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 Raiders, Texans. Raiders coming off a bye week.
Tie.
How are the Raiders sitting on 1-4?
They're not good.
What is that? That's poor.
What is it? Raiders at who?
Can't win.
Oh, Houston is
Yeah.
in Vegas. Oh, they're in Vegas. Give me the Raiders.
I'm taking the Raiders too.
Give me a tie. Nobody.
Chargers, Seahawks.
Seahawks are 7.5-point dogs. Give me the Seahawks.
It's in LA, but Chargers fans don't exist anyway, so give me the Seahawks.
I got the Chargers. Chiefs, 49ers.
Chiefs.
Chiefs coming off a loss. Give me the Chiefs. Who you going with, Oronde? Chiefs?
I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know.
Wow.
Heads Chiefs, tails Niners. Hey Siri, flip a coin.
It's heads.
Give me the Chiefs.
Steelers, Dolphins.
Steelers.
Tua's
Ooh.
back. Kenny Pickett may or may not play Sunday Night Football.
Give me the Steelers.
Give me the Steelers as well.
Yeah, give me the Steelers.
Bears
my-
versus the
Pats.
Patriots to close it
Pats.
out.
Pass.
Pats.
I got the Patriots as well. All right. If you've made it to this far, please leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. We appreciate everybody for listening. Lillian, Oronde, thank you for joining. Elijah was here. Thank you as well. My name is Davion. I've been your host, and this has been the post game. Peace.